it says nail her on this. What did he want to nail you on?
Probably on everything that I do wrong.
Okay. Do you think that that's in the best interest of your children? Do you think it's in the best interest of your children that they have equal time with both of their parents?
You need to respond more audibly.
Sorry, no. What? Loud?
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that you, correct, you did just, I think you shook your head rather than gave an
Okay.
audible answer.
Do I think, it makes me sad, and no, both parents need equal time.
Okay. And let's see. All right, so in the interest of time, what I want to do now is I just kind of want to go through our index of exhibits so that you can kind of tell the court whether you think it's important for the court to look at something now or not, and to identify what we haven't stipulated to that we might want to bring in. Our first, looks like our first 9 exhibits are part of the stipulation. And then we come to some exhibits, 10 through 13 are some additional text messages and emails. Would you like the court to skim those for sort of the historical context of the case?
I think it's whatever the court has time for.
Okay, all right. Let's go to Plaintiff's Exhibit 11. So you'll find a binder there with Volume 1.
Okay.
And turn to the tab that is, oh, no, hang on, I'm misspeaking. It's actually Volume 4, not 1, 4.
Miss Wilson, you said tab 11?
Tab 11. Take a couple of moments to look through those pages. Do you recognize them?
It's an email. Am I in the right one?
It's PLTF 4580 at the bottom and 4581.
Oh, no, this is a different one. So it's.
Are you in behind tab 11?
Oh, okay. Okay, text messages?
Yes.
Okay.
Take a moment to review that.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
And what is it?
It's
What kind of communication is it?
text message.
Okay, and who's the text message between?
Me and.
Okay, and, all right, thank you for the correct English. What was the significance of this text message?
I guess sometimes I just think in a good place, and then he sent a text message that he didn't mean to send to me, and it just stated to nail me to the wall, or nail me.
Okay, and Uh, Your Honor, move to admit Exhibit 11.
No objection. Exhibit 11 is admitted into the record.
Okay. And so what you're referring to is on PLTF 4580 at the bottom of the page, there's a text bubble. Is that from Mr.?
Yes, ma'am.
And it says, nail her on this. What did he want to nail you on?
Probably on everything that I do wrong.
Okay. Why would you feel that he wants to nail you on everything you do wrong?
Because it just comes out in moving papers that way.
Okay. Do you know approximately how many moving papers he's filed in this case?
A lot.
Do you feel overwhelmed by them?
Yes.
And when this message came in, was it intended for you?
I don't think so. I think he said that it wasn't intended for me.
Okay. Do you still feel that Mr. is quote unquote attempting to nail you?
Absolutely.
Why do you feel that way?
It's just the way he verbalizes his text message and emails.
Do you feel like that you could ever change the mode of your communication enough to please him?
No.
And then continuing through the index of the plaintiff's exhibits, there's a group of stipulated videos, 14 to 23. A lot of those were actually videos of the testimony that Mr. was talking about this morning. You have a garage cam, is that correct?
That's correct.
And let's turn to, still in volume 4, tab 54.
Exhibit 54.
Yes, 5-4. It is not stipulated.
No objection.
No objection. Thank you, Mr.
Admission.
Burton. I appreciate that.
So exhibit 54 is admitted into the record.
Okay. So
You said
Leanne,
exhibits 14.
14 to 23 had been stipulated. They're
That's-
stipulated videos, is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay.
Are you looking at the pages in 54?
Yes, ma'am.
What are these photographs of?
It's a at Sky Canyon ER when
Hang on. I think you're one earlier, 5-4.
my front door.
Okay, your front door.
Yeah.
And there's a camera and an ADT sticker. And then the next page notifies a person at your door that the premises is under audio and video surveillance, correct?
Yes.
And then on PLTF 2376, who is that man?
That's James' dad.
And what is he looking at and pointing to?
He's looking at the I left.
What note did you leave?
I left a note for Metro that we weren't home, so to please call me.
Okay, why were you not home?
Because we were at the library.
Who was we?
Me and myself.
Okay, and where was?
Oh, he was with me.
According to the description, this was June 10, 2023. You heard Mr. testimony earlier
Yes.
about being called back to your home by Metro. Is that right? And was when he was called back to the house?
I don't remember.
Okay. And then, why did you leave a note for Metro that you were that you were not home?
Told me that he was gonna call Metro.
Okay, and why were you not exchanging, one or more of the children on June 10, 2023?
Because there was an investigation pending and not agree to not having with.
Okay, so was exchanging at that time?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, does that help refresh your recollection that,
Yes.
okay. And these are still photos from the surveillance camera, is that right?
That's correct.
And did you review the full videos?
I did, yeah.
Okay. And from those videos, did you learn where during this time?
Yeah, he was in a truck that was parked kind of down the street away from my camera.
Okay. And what did you hear on those videos?
I heard Metro. I heard Metro at the door and around my front yard, and I heard talking to Metro, and I heard James talking to Metro, and I saw following Metro, following James, and the four of them were kind of back and forth from my front yard to my driveway to my door.
Did you think that was appropriate? That was following all of these men around?
Absolutely not. I think it tampered with the investigation.
Okay. And what was the investigation of that we're talking about?
The investigation was concerns and complaints that about.
Okay. What complaints did you have? That were brought to the attention of CPS.
Oh, that hot toothpaste on.
Was there anything else that she said?
She said that he.
And did she say that to you more than one time?
She did.
That, explain that to me.
She told me that on that day, she told me that she didn't tell me like the story. She just said she was uncomfortable, and then when I sat down with her, then the story kind of unfolded. So it wasn't the full story. But she only told me that incident once.
Right. So when you say it was more than once, it was while she was telling you the story, she repeated the words more than one time at that sitting.
That's correct.
But she didn't say it happened more than one time.
That's correct.
Okay. Is that what you understood Mr. saying this morning, was that had said this on two different occasions?
Yes, I understood Mr. to say that, but that's not what.
Okay, and you've read the CPS report yourself, right?
I have a long time ago.
And did you infer from anything in the CPS report that more than one time?
I did not.
Okay. All right, so now going back from this photo, which connects back to some of the stipulated videos. I thought it did anyway. We have videos 17 through 22 are all of that day. Would you like the court to review those videos?
If they need to.
Okay.
Or if you need to.
Because we have so little time here today,
Yeah.
I would not be inclined to review those videos in open court. Would you like the court to look at those outside of the courtroom?
Outside the courtroom?
Yeah, just by himself
Yeah,
when he's reviewing all the evidence of the case.
I think it's important.
Okay. And why do you think it's important for the court to review those?
Because I think it's important that people hear.
Okay, but not part of those videos are from your surveillance camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why is it
mean,
important for the court to see that?
I just think I think nobody in a family should be talking that way. And I just think it sets the precedence for what children are being exposed to. And children are very smart, and they make up, they interpret it to be loyal to their parents and their grandparents, those that are around them, their primary caretakers. So I just think it's important,
Okay.
but not that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
Right, now video 14 is actually, that's the May 12, 2023 video that you made when Dawn told you about the hot toothpaste on her. Would you like the court to review that video?
I would.
And then there are a couple, video 15 actually is, again, June 10, but a different video when for the exchange. Can you recount what happened when for the exchange that day?
Yeah, I said, would you please tell me that you'll keep like separated or be present and be there? And
Why did you ask him that?
Because that's what CPS recommended, and I didn't think he was taking the investigation seriously. I didn't think he was listening to.
Why did you think he wasn't listening to?
Because she had tried to tell him things before, and he would call her a liar, and he would say, your brother would never do that to you.
Okay. Did it really matter to you whether any of those things had been done to or not? In terms of keeping supervision?
I don't understand the question.
Earlier today, Mr. testified that you asked him to keep the children in line of sight. Are those words you ever used?
No, I don't really know what line of sight even refers to.
Okay. But you were asking them to have supervision at all times?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he agree to give that supervision?
Not that day.
Okay. And so after he refused to give the supervision, what happened next on that day?
I didn't transfer. And Metro came, and his dad came, and he was asleep in the truck.
Was there any other exchange between you
and? I don't remember. There was another exchange. She went with her dad, but I don't.
Not that day?
Not that day.
Okay. But there's a video of that whole exchange of you and. Would you like the court to review that video?
Yeah.
Okay. You heard Dr. Bergquist's testimony and you reviewed the custody evaluation, yes?
I did, yeah.
And you heard that although not as critical, I think, as would portray it to be, Dr. Bergquist did have some concerns about the way that you communicate with around child exchanges. Did you recall, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And what information did you take from that critique?
Positive information that it was that I was using poor terminology, and I could use better words, or I could create a better situation for those conversations, or create better terminology and verbiage.
And how have you done that?
Just with classes and learning about how to communicate and to make sure that it's just strictly and that to not ask leading questions or try not to have my emotions in the mix, or be very cognitive of how I'm acting and how I ask her questions, and just to be to make sure that nothing that I you know, nothing from me is being transferred onto her,
Okay.
just to be very cognitive.
And even of those things that Dr. Bergquist pointed out, well, that could be construed by a child in some particular or slightly negative way. Has it ever been your intention to do damage to relationship with either of your children?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And what kinds of things do you do to facilitate the relationship between children?
I think it's just about helping the children understand that it's normal, like that the transfers are normal, that also what they're feeling is normal, and it's just to protect their stress level. Like when kids change, you know, they change, and whether they leave a playground or go somewhere else. Kids are many people. They have bad days too. Sometimes we have just difficult transfers because they don't want to stop watching cartoons, and most of the time now they just walk out the door and they're happy little mudlarks, and you know, they do a lot of comparison. Kids compare, and so you know, I just to facilitate this positive reinforcement of that both love them and that they are, you know, that this just is their normal, and to just, you know.
Do you, other than the things that you might say to the kids, are there things that you specifically do with them to encourage their relationship with their dad?
I think it's just acting like, you know, being on the same team. I mean, kids read people, feel people. So I think it's just on Father's Day, we'll go down and we'll get card and balloons. And so they're actively involved in Father's Day if it's on my day. Same thing with his birthday. They'll pick him out each a gift and make him a card. And if they're doing something super awesome, you know, and to share it with them, then, you know, to communicate with her dad, or I send a picture to him and I'm like, to show you this. Or on Sunday, it was Father's Day, we went to church, she made him a picture and I made sure that picture transferred with Father's Day. So it's just being like cohesive, like we're both on the same team and we just want these kids to be, we both love them and we just want everything easy.
Okay. Was on Father's Day?
I believe so.
Okay, because otherwise he would have the children on Father's Day.
Yeah, it's his to custody day, yeah.
Are there other vacation or holidays that were Dad's holidays that he did not exercise because he was working?
I believe Thanksgiving, I think, was one of them, and then for this year, the holiday that just passed, I don't know if it
Veterans
was
Day?
Veterans Day was his day. There's been a few odd and ends, probably maybe 3 to 5 times a year. He can't make one of his vacation days.
All right, well, they're not vacation days, they're holidays.
Holidays,
and so
yeah.
he works
Yeah.
them rather than take them
Holidays.
off. Okay. And have you given him makeup time?
No, I used to, when he had drill days, he would go and he'd be busy Saturday and Sunday, and it might have been his Saturday and Sunday. So if they transferred on Sunday night, I would say, well, do you want to keep them through Monday and return them on Tuesday? So when he missed like an entire block, if he asked, yeah, I always would be, you know, an extra day. And then he doesn't really ask for the holidays. When he misses his holidays, he doesn't really say, can I have, you know, this day or a makeup for that particular holiday. I don't hear too much.
But you have offered him additional time, it
Yeah.
sounds like, on one end or the other.
Well,
to-
I've not just offered, I've given it to him.
Mhm.
I think last year I gave him like 12 extra days.
Okay. All right, there are a number of other videos that are about old child custody exchanges. Do you think that those are relevant anymore?
I really don't.
Okay.
We're just in a different place as a co-parenting family.
Okay. So that would be videos 24 to 26, 29. To 41. You don't think there's any reason for the court to be reviewing those now?
I mean, it's been a long time, so I don't, I mean, that's, the court can, if they see fit, they're there.
But their child exchanges from like April of 2022. Do those really have relevance now?
No, she's pretty awesome.
Okay.
When you reference the video numbers, counsel, I'm assuming those are the exhibit numbers.
Yes, those are the exhibit numbers, correct. Yeah. And then other exchange videos would be, and these are going back to 2022. 43, through 48. Let's look at, this is going to be in one of the blue binders. It's Defendants E. And I'm not sure which E. So, but they should be Summerlin Hospital records.
Dark blue, she has no light blue.
Looks like, I think it's dark blue. And they're not, it actually doesn't have a tab E.
Approach Your Honor, maybe try to help her through while
Yes.
she does that?
Yeah, do you see which one it is?
You said E, Shannon?
Well, it doesn't actually have an E. It
Oh.
just has it's a tab, and in my binder, it says Summerlin Hospital, and it's white.
So it's not Exhibit E?
It's E/64. It's E/64, I believe, in Miss Wilson's books as well. We have books that were marked as E, but my client removed the stipulated exhibits into another book, which then created kind of a little bit of duplicity.
Let's see. Let me
So
match
this
it
is
up.
also 64.
If Miss
plaintiff's.
Wilson can confirm that, I
I'm
believe it is.
working on confirming that right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4,300 base numbers on our side.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, 6-4, plaintiff 6-4.
Was this admitted by stipulation?
It
It
is.
is. Mhm. All right, and then we're gonna go to 4391, plaintiff 4391. Mr. talked about this morning and at the last hearing as well. Are you there at 4391?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And so this was Summerlin Hospital. Actually, it's easier to read on 4392, December 31, 2021. Do you recall what was happening the week prior to December 31, 2021?
Oh, Christmas. It's Christmas.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
And 2021, this was the year that you and Mr. separated, correct?
Yeah, this is the holiday he took her for 7 days straight.
Okay. Was there an agreement for him to have that holiday for 7 days straight?
No, ma'am.
What happened?
He claimed he got COVID and that he had to quarantine with her over Christmas holiday.
Okay. And up to that point, had he ever had for an overnight?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And so was it December 23rd, 2021 that he claimed to have COVID and then didn't return?
I think so. I think he sent me a text around
Okay.
that time.
All right, so we could go to the text messages and we could
Yes.
cross-reference that if we had time, but we don't. And so, why did you take on for that visit?
Because of what she told me and what I saw.
What did you see?
I saw 3 bruises on one arm and 2 bruises on another arm.
Okay. And turn to plaintiff 4399. And if we look in the upper right-hand corner, we see that this is still the 12/31/21 visit. And if we look down at the bottom of that page on the left, do you see where it says history of present illness?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you read that first sentence under history of present illness?
Sure. The patient presents with bilateral arm bruising. The onset was unknown. The course of duration of symptoms is improving.
Okay. So this is an observation by a medical professional that there was bilateral arm bruising. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
This was not you simply saying that she had arm bruising.
That's correct.
And she had been in Mr. for the 7 days preceding.
That's correct.
Did she have bilateral arm bruising when she went into his care?
No, ma'am.
All right. Let's go same exhibit 4428, please.
What makes sense?
Sorry, 4428. Oh, I have that. That is not correct. Sorry, 4444. Mr. talked about this morning, and he said that it was a complaint about crying, but if you could read for us the first line under where it says emergency department.
Sure, the patient presents with the onset of 2 days ago. The course of duration of symptoms is episodic. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm, yeah. What is the next sentence?
Characterization or characterized of constipation, unable to defecate, hard, small stool.
Okay, stop there and then go down to, where's the treat? Medications, what was ordered?
An enema. At the ER, they gave her an enema to relieve the compacted stool.
Okay,
And then also they put her on a stool softener.
okay. Then, let's see. All right, now we're going to change binders and we're going to go to binder volume 4, the white binders, please.
I'm sorry.
460. And then once you're at volume 4, exhibit 60, go to plaintiff 3599, please. Are you there, Ms.?
Yes.
Okay. And this was a visit that Mr. talked about on September 4. The visit itself was July 12, 2022. Can you review the, it says CC/HPI. Can you review, read those for the court, please?
CC/HPI fever, 104 degrees starting today. 2-year-old present with 104 fever degree noted today with runny nose, rapid breathing, wheezing, vomiting, loose stool. She has allergies and takes Benadryl and Zytec daily. That more?
Yeah.
Mom also offered Motrin and Tylenol for symptomatic relief today. Also, she hit her head. She hit her head, the back of a chair at her dad's house 2 days ago, and has a bruise on her forehead.
Okay. Were those things that Mr. you about?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And, but you went to the hospital because she had a 104-degree fever, and she was having respiratory symptoms, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We go a few pages backward, 3598. At the top of the page, we can see this was a visit on August 3 of 2022. And there's an entry for vaccines. Were vaccines administered on that date?
No, they weren't. Oh,
It's a different visit than the one we were looking at a moment ago. This is August 3rd, 2022. Do you see where it says vaccines administered?
oh, yes, yes, this
Is-
was, yeah,
Is there an entry there?
yes, there is.
Regarding on in vaccines, when you and Mr. got married, were you living together?
No,
When did you get married?
2018, October, yeah, October 2018.
And did you live together the day that you got married?
Maybe it's September,
Okay.
sorry,
He just gave me a different answer.
sorry. I knew it was fall. We had pie, I don't know.
Okay, and so, were you well on your wedding day?
No, I wasn't.
What happened on your wedding day?
I was really sick.
And, and did you want to postpone your wedding?
Yes, I did.
And did that happen?
No, it didn't.
Well-
Mr. down to North Las Vegas Station 50, got an IV bag and a bunch of medication and started an IV on me.
Okay. So you got married, and did you commence living together the day that you got married?
No,
How long after you got married did you start living together?
probably months.
Okay. And what was the impediment to you living together?
Was the vaccinations. I had 3 foster kids at the time. I might have had 2, 2 or 3.
You had some foster kids.
Yeah, I had foster kids, and I had them for years, and they were vaccinated, and per I don't
You want to take a sip of water?
yeah. Per family services, you can't mix unvaccinated kids with their vaccinated. So they had rules that to cohabitate, the children be vaccinated. So we didn't reside living together until Noah and I became vaccinated, because I would have had to get rid of the foster placement that I had for so long.
Okay. So, how old about were Noah and the time you got married?
I want to say about
We were like,
14, 12, maybe 10.
well, in 2009, right?
Yeah.
And so in 2018, he would have been
11?
about 9 years old.
Okay.
And then he was 3 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
So he was about 6. And to that point, had ever been vaccinated?
They had not.
Okay. Are you aware whether Mr. exemption for, religious exemption from vaccination for,
Yeah, he signed 3.
okay. And how are you aware of the exemptions that he signed?
He signed one of them right in front of me at Las Vegas Athletic Club on 215 in Decatur, so that the kids could go to the gym with us.
Okay.
And their policy was they had to be fully vaccinated or they had to sign a religious exempt. So the only way to get them membership was for to sign one of those. And then the other 2 I saw in his divorce documents from his first wife.
Okay. And one was also for LVAC before they came onto your membership?
That's correct.
Okay. And so the court order that Mr. obtained to vaccinate December 2019. So does that mean that you did not reside together from the time of your marriage in September 2018 to December of 2019?
Sounds right.
Okay. And because when he wasn't working, he had his children in his care, right?
That's correct.
And when he was working, he was at North Las Vegas Fire Department, so he wasn't with you.
Yeah, and military, yeah.
Okay. And then, so born in November of 2019.
Mhm.
His children were vaccinated sometime in December of 2019, so about a month after was born.
That's correct.
And then did he start living with you completely?
No, I think and I decided to wait till the second booster because they had never been vaccinated before, and I think the doctor told us that it took a few weeks for these vaccines to set in, and then when you get a booster, the probability goes up higher of vaccination, like the
Okay.
so yeah. No.
All right, so you waited, and
Yeah.
then so from the time that they did get their second booster, though, which probably would have been a couple of months after the first, then was living with you continuously from sometime in the early part of 2020 until your separation in late 2021?
That's correct. Well, when he wasn't deployed, yeah.
How much was he deployed in that time period?
In that about 22 months, it was about 14 months gone.
Okay. And so during that time period, you largely were responsible for,
That's correct.
he wasn't really around.
That's correct.
Did you keep her on track with her vaccinations?
I did, yeah.
Okay. And did you, after your foster children, you didn't have your foster children anymore, did you continue to keep to date on her vaccinations?
That's correct, yeah.
Is there any deviation from the CDC schedule of vaccination that you prefer?
They call it, they have a name for it, it's called prolonged, I think, or it's where you just space them out a little bit more. They're on task and target, but it just takes the parent going into the office more to space the vaccines out a little bit more so they're not given all at once.
Okay. So you've never been fundamentally opposed to vaccination,
I have not.
and you've made sure that got her vaccinations.
That's correct.
And what about vaccinations?
Zeke's vaccinations, he was up to date here and there, and then he had probably, I think it was, I counted COVID 3 times while he was an infant, and then he had 2 major surgeries, and it was a little challenging for his vaccinations just because of his respiratory issues. He was on albuterol for probably 2 months.
Okay. All right. So I want to come back to records because you've been through his desert pediatrics records, correct?
Yeah, a little bit ago, but yes.
Okay, and you've been through the records and text messages with his urologist that needed to do a surgery, two surgeries, right?
That's correct.
One was his circumcision and the other was his,
Full mass removal.
okay. And ultimately, Desert Valley Pediatrics discharged you folks because under vaccinated.
That's correct.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Blank blamed you for that, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
But when you go through the actual Desert Valley Pediatrics records, what do you see?
I see a kid that went to his office quite often sick, and I see at times it was Desert Valley Pediatrics that refused because he had respiratory issues. Mm-hmm. And I see that I had been with Dr. Blank for almost 12 years with all my foster kids, and I did all the same things with my foster kids and he never had an issue.
Okay. So the Desert Valley Pediatrics records don't actually support that you were the barrier to vaccination, do they?
Not when you read the actual.
Okay. All right. If time permitting, we will go through the debate numbers that show specifically where he was brought into the office, sometimes by you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other times by Dad, correct?
I think there was one time, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't there. When he was brought by Dad, I usually would.
Okay. So sometimes it will say that Dad is,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the accompanying parent, but you were usually there too.
That's
and
correct.
the vice versa is also true. It may have your name, but he was there.
That's correct.
Okay. So I want to turn back to records for a moment. Left off. So we have, if it pleases the court, we've identified the specific bait numbers of the stipulated exhibits that have the vaccinations. There's also just complete vaccination records for both children that are stipulated. So you're on a plaintiff's 8, 9 are complete vaccination records for both at least through July 11 of 2024.
Could you give me that number?
It's plaintiff's 89.
That's the bait number?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry, that's the exhibit.
The exhibit number, okay, okay, I see.
8N9 or 89?
89.
Exhibit 89, okay, I'm sorry.
And has that been admitted? Any objection to the admission of Exhibit 89?
I don't believe so. I think this is a medical record, right, Shannon?
Yeah, it's in volume 6.
And that's through July of this year?
July of 2024.
Yeah, that's fine.
So Exhibit 89 is admitted?
All right, then if we can go to my apologies, Your Honor, I thought we had all of these specifically marked.
Are you still on 89?
No. Looking for-
Ms. Wilson, do you want me to help you find something back here?
Thank you for the offer. I know you know these records very well. I'm looking for the exhibit that contains the Sky Canyon records.
Oh, you know, for which child for?
For, right now for,
42 probably. I believe I have it here, and it should be your 62, Shannon? I think it's 62, yeah. And 63 is, Summerlin, okay, 62 is it should be Sky Canyon.
yeah.
My client has like a whole rubric as well.
No, that's not it. No, we're looking for plaintiff, 573. 5730. No, it's not in there. Nope, never mind what I just said.
It's not for 22722?
5,
That would have to be in a way later.
no, I'm looking for, 5735. It's the August 28, 2024 visit. That's Sky Canyon.
You said triple M? Or quadruple G? She has the book. That's okay. I mean, the G's up there. It's quadruple G. Did you find it?
No.
It's quadruple G.
Oh, 4G, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be your base numbers. Yeah, that's okay for reference for now.
So, do you have a light blue binder there?
I do.
Okay. And
Were
it's
you able
the-
to find it, Ms. Nestor?
No.
Oh, can I, I'll try to help her.
Yeah,
Just
thank you,
quickly.
Mike.
You
Appreciate
said
that.
quadruple G in light blue?
Or triple N, which is not gonna be there.
So in mine, it's just a black single G.
Oh, right here.
Yep, that light one right there. So sorry for the delay.
Yeah, I found it.
Thought I had
Right.
all of these marked to the hilt,
No, it's,
and I don't.
we had time. I don't mess over here.
So which exhibit are we looking at?
So we are in the defendant's light blue binder, we are defendant's GGGG.
So 3, and make sure that, because there's also 4G, so it's gonna be 3, not 4.
I think
No,
she,
it's 4Gs.
it's quadruple G.
Oh, it's 4G,
It is
not
4G.
3. Yes, yes, you were, that's right, you're right, you're right.
I might have only sleeping. And then, once we're all there,
In this book, I don't have quadruple G.
but you'll just have a single G.
Oh,
And if
okay,
you
got
turn
it.
Yeah.
that page, it will say 4Gs.
Okay, perfect, got it.
And then you'll go to 5735.
Well,
please.
I think we have different numbers, right?
Actually, I don't have I have FF and 18.
Ours will go to 2200 or 2200.
Well, this also doesn't have my numbers on it. What a hot mess this has become.
Okay.
All right, hang on a second.
Yours should have been in your last book, right?
Yeah, these should also, because I actually have this marked with my mate numbers.
Yeah, that's
So
what I-
that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, so that last book you did,
I have it here, Shannon. Do you want it?
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Sorry, usually, yeah, that's gonna be difficult though.
I just saw book 5. Is it 5 or 6?
I know, I have a cross-reference. Please.
What book was just off here? Because I thought I saw that one book that looked a little different. This one, okay. Volume 6. Okay. I have 6. What were the dates that you had, Shannon? That you had referenced?
Well, it doesn't matter, because I think we've found them, let's stay with defendants quadruple G. And we will go to, I'll give you a bait reference just momentarily.
Okay. Okay.
So if you can go to DEF 22, 49.
Now, are we in triple G? I just want to be clear. Because
Four
that has not-
Gs.
4Gs, oh, so 4Gs, that, I don't believe that has been admitted. Is there any objection
It
to the
should be
admission of?
stipulated.
It should be, it is either 4G or the other number that we have, triple N, and you have, and then what Shannon had a number two, so. whatever that one
So
is.
quadruple G is admitted into the record by stipulation.
Thank you. So this is August 28, 2024. You recall you took Zion to Sky Canyon on that day?
For single G, I
Are you looking at DEF 2249?
no, I don't, those numbers are different. It starts at DEF 0022 in my single G.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Take a minute to maybe jog your memory
Mm-hmm.
about read the free text HPI notes. Have you read that?
Yes,
Does that refresh your recollection about what was happening on that day?
yes.
What happened that day?
I picked from house for transfer at 7 p.m. and the second she opened up my van door, she said her pee-pee hurt.
Okay. And what happened next when she said that?
I asked her if she wanted to go to the doctor. She said no. And we went home, dropped our stuff off, and it was red and irritated, and she was in a lot of pain, so we went to the Sky Canyon ER.
Okay. Let's go back to when you picked her up from Dad's house. What else did you do?
Started my camera.
And would that have been contrary to Dr. Bergquist's recommendation?
I didn't have a stationary camera in my car yet, so it was the best that I had at the time.
Okay. And what was her recommendation?
That we could have cameras, but they needed to be stationary and non-intrusive to the children.
And was that non-obtrusive to?
I pushed start and put it in the cup holder.
Okay. So was she aware that she was being recorded?
No.
And why did you do that?
Because I was scared to take her to the doctor again.
Why were you scared to take her to the doctor?
Because every time I took her to the doctor, it was more parent-child alienation, and that I'm making these things up.
And what do you say to the allegation that you taking to the doctor is parental alienation?
I wish I would have taken her to the doctor that day.
Did you ask whether she had shared with her dad that she had pain?
Yeah, I asked her.
And what did she say?
She said no.
Okay. And so there's a stipulation for the video that you made. That's plaintiff's 86,
Mm-hmm.
or similarly defendant's quadruple I.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like the court to review that video?
Yeah.
What do you think that video shows?
I guess it depends on who watches it.
Well, I'm asking you, what, from your perspective, did you employ the principles in asking questions that you learned from your co-parenting courses?
I tried to.
Okay. And so after you departed and you turned off the video, then what did you do next?
I went home and to see signs and symptoms, and she had signs and symptoms, so we went to the doctor.
Signs and symptoms of what? What were they?
Her private areas were really red, irritated, and she was in a lot of pain.
Okay. And did you have any concern that anything untoward had happened at Dad's house during that exchange?
No.
And did you notify Mr. when you were on your way there?
Yes, I did.
And how far is it from your house to Sky Canyon ER?
About 8 minutes.
Okay.
And we were actually at McDonald's in the park, and that was closer.
Oh, even closer?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you notified him that you were on your way.
Mhm.
And was there a time before this that Mr. had taken her to an ER for vaginal pain?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you recall approximately when that was?
Probably 8 months prior. November's sticking in my head, but no, I don't, without certainty and looking at the book.
Okay. And did he call you when he was on his way to that appointment?
He called me 7 minutes before she was being seen. So he texted me and said, "Hey, I'm taking her to the ER." And then I said, "Okay, I'm on my way." And then I think about 6 minutes went by and he was there.
Okay. And so was it kind of the same pattern, that visit that he called you to say, "Hey, I'm taking her for vaginal pain," and you called him and said, "I'm taking her for vaginal pain"? Was it basically the same pattern?
It was, yeah, it was exactly the same. We've always done the visits the same.
Okay. And so he called you and you showed up, and then you called him and he showed up.
That's correct.
Okay. And when you come into the Sky Canyon, was that at the same place?
It was, correct.
Okay. And so when you to that ER facility, it's like one of those local ERs,
It
is that
is.
right?
It's
It's
a
not an
neighborhood.
actual hospital ER, right?
No, it's a neighborhood clinic,
Okay.
ER.
And when you come in, what do you see?
You see about 6 seats, a little kiosk where you can check in. You see a security guard, and you see the security guard sitting behind kind of a glass encapsulation or desk.
Is the security guard always there?
Always,
Okay, so that was not special
no.
when Mr. as his testimony back on the 4th of September would have suggested.
No, I've probably been to that ER 10 times, and it's always the same.
Okay. When you are meeting
Mhm.
at a hospital, at an emergency, we'll call this an emergency type visit, right? It's
Mhm.
not one that's planned, it's not a scheduled doctor appointment. Do you call the facility ahead of time?
I don't.
But did you do that?
He did.
Okay. And so you get there, you check in, you go back, tell us what happens next.
The security guard said, "Check in at the kiosk, scan your ID," did so. A nurse came out, she grabbed us, she triaged us, and I say grabbed, she just walked us back. She triaged in the lobby, so she took her saturation, her temperature, blood pressure, and asked her questions and whatnot. And then we waited that took about probably 4 minutes, maybe 4 to 6 minutes, and just small talk with the nurse, and they talked to mostly too. I had an with me, so I was kind of more facilitating him. And then the doctor came out, and she asked some generic questions. One of them being, "Do you think this is sexual abuse?" And I said no. I'd shared with her where it was and that I had just picked her up, and that she said, "Okay, we're going to run some tests and get you situated, so I'll get back to you," basically. And then And about 4 or 5 minutes later, they put us in a room. I was busy doing all the insurance check-in and eating popsicles, and they were hanging out watching cartoons.
Okay. And did you later become aware that Mr. was trying to make contact with you?
No, he never tried to FaceTime me, and he never called me.
Oh, okay. And so what happened? Was there anything else that happened during that visit that you haven't shared yet?
No, they came in, they ran their tests. Mr. showed up. He spoke to the ER doctor as well, and I had to do a urinalysis on. So at one point, I had to take her to the restroom so that she could go potty in a cup. That was pretty much it. And then we were discharged. We were both given discharge papers, and we left very soon. It was a very quick visit. I don't think it was over 30, 40 minutes, really.
Okay. Can you go to DEF 2252?
2252?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Can you read that paragraph for us?
The free text
Yeah.
MDM. Free text MDM notes. Free text MDM notes. Patient is a 4-year-old female presenting with less likely sexual assault, and patient appears appropriate and happy and denies any injury to region, no fever, vomiting, or abdominal pain. I advise primary care. Patient's mom is agreement with
Hang on,
plan-
you skipped a line.
Oh,
I
sorry.
advised.
I advised and good hygiene. If workup normal, advise close follow-up with primary care. Patient's mom is agreement with plan. Inconclusive esterase, but no bacteria. Acute abnormalities. I discussed workup and results with patient's mom. Given discharge instructions, return precautions, and follow-up plan.
Okay. So I want to go focus on, because this is what the court was very interested in its order to show cause, right? Where it says that this is the doctor speaking, I advised, and good hygiene. Did you know what was?
I did not.
Okay. And did the doctor say, hey, can I do this? Do I have your permission?
No, ma'am, she did not.
Okay. And, but tests were performed, right?
They were.
Okay. And, is that similar to what happened when Mr. took some months earlier for the same complaint?
That's correct.
Okay. Were you there when the tests were performed on this August 28, 24 visit?
On this visit, I was. They told me to stand by her head and just comfort her, and a doctor and nurse came in, performed tests, and then left.
Okay. Did you have an understanding of what tests were actually being done?
No.
Okay. And did, were you on the visit that, were you there when they did the testing?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay. And did he call you to say, hey, these are the testing recommendations of the doctor?
No, he just said we're on our way, and I said, okay, I'm coming right down.
Okay. And is that basically also what happened when you called him on this visit?
Yes, except he had already made contact with the ER and the nurse.
Okay. So did he tell you whether he was coming or not?
No, he didn't.
Okay. And did at some point anybody tell you that he was coming?
A nurse came in and said, the father called, do you know Mr. I said, yeah, it's Dad. He called and he's coming down. Is it okay? Are you guys amicable and everything? And I said, yeah, everything's perfect. We're good.
Okay. So by the time, Mr. there, some tests had been done, was he there for the doctor giving discharge instructions?
That's correct.
Okay, so, and are the discharge instructions the recommendations that you guys usually, if you're not actually physically present during the appointment, is that the point when you bring the other parent in on FaceTime?
That's correct for the last 4 years. Yeah,
That's how you've always done it? Okay. Both sides do the same thing?
that's correct. Yeah. I usually call to FaceTime the kids en route to the hospital, but
Mhm.
if it's like she just ripped her thigh open.
All right, so, Your Honor, I'm sensitive that we're now at noon.
We're at noon, so.
I do want to say that I'm disappointed that we don't have time to go back and forth between the Desert Valley Pediatrics records, the urology records, and the urology text messages, because they do, when you read them back and forth in their chronology, they completely support that Desert Valley Pediatrics was absolutely in the wrong to issue that letter discharging them from their care for ostensibly being a barrier to vaccination. It reads like textbook, mom or dad bring the child for a respiratory or other infection, and then the vaccinations are deferred. And then he's going in for surgery and the vaccinations are deferred, or vice versa. The tie up in that is so neat. It is every lawyer's dream that you can put a case together that cleanly. So I know it's time consuming, but we would ask the court to take the time to look through those records to see that there's no way to read those records
Well-
and come to the conclusion that the barrier to
Did we
vaccination.
want to maybe offer to do a written closing to make some of these ties?
And I'm open to that. I leave that to council. I'm open if you, and I would place some parameters on the written closing. Obviously, there are volumes of information, and the more that you can narrow this down on exactly what I need to look at. And I appreciate those efforts in that regard about perhaps some videos I don't need to watch or look at. I appreciate that insight, and that's what I'd be looking for in any type of closing brief.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to piece that together, part of this depends on how much, and we're at noon, and Mr. Burton's entitled to cross-examination, so
90 minutes tops? Are you winding down here with your direct?
how much time?
90 tops?
Well,
Hour and a half. Well,
See,
yeah.
An hour minimum, probably.
Well, and listen, I'm not here to cut anyone short, and this, to be clear, this is an added day beyond what we had originally scheduled, and I'm fine with that. It's just a matter of timing.
Sure.
And I indicated that my courtroom is being used at 1:30, which coincides with that. However, I have staff here that have to cover that 1:30 calendar, and so
They need a lunch
they
break.
need a break. As much as I'm not going to be the presiding judicial officer at 1:30, they need a break for lunch. So really, and so I'm not here to cut that short. And if we need to add an additional day, I know this is not what the parties want.
I don't even think Ms. Wilson's done.
I'm not, but I am not done in the sense of the case that was put on by plaintiff warrants some additional response by Ms. That said, do I think that this court probably has enough before it to make the decision that Ms. is looking for? Yes, I do. And so I feel a little bit torn. I think that maybe the appropriate thing would be if we could have the shortest of recesses to talk to our clients to see what they want to do at this juncture, whether they want to ask for another half day.
Right.
Did you want to weigh in on the closing, my idea on the closing brief now with me, or do you want to talk to me about that?
Yes,
Well,
I think
let's
that we
take a
should
break,
talk
and
about that too.
listen, I want to grant council leave to have those discussions, but even more significant than that, I agree with the invitation to chat with your respective clients.
Okay.
I'm not here to cut the time short. I recognize the amount of time that has gone into preparing this matter, and it has been, bless you, that has been pending for quite some time. And so have that discussion with your respective clients, just so you're aware. Looking at my next half day is December 22nd. So we're coinciding with some holidays here. But I'm
Perfect. I'll be
opening.
fresh from vacation.
I actually thought you meant next year when you said that initially. I'm
Oh,
like, that's
thanks,
actually
boy.
not too bad.
No, that's considering where we were in September
Mhm.
and the next date I had available. Now I have currently it says there's a judicial settlement conference slot on my calendar, but it has not been filled. So I'm ready to take that date.
What's that date?
The 22nd.
Oh, that's the
December
22nd,
22nd at 9 a.m. Again, it's a half day, so we need to, and definitely by that time we need to wrap this up.
There's no way we couldn't finish it. I mean, we were, I think,
Well, let's take a break.
Okay,
Chat between council. I'm also open to the notion of having written closings.
okay.
And then, so you may step down, ma'am, and just a few minutes to
Yeah.
chat with your clients, and then let my marshal know when you want me to come back in, and we can decide how we proceed.
Yeah.
All right?
You have a seat here for a second.
Let's go back on the record. So
Okay.
we are back on the record in the Ms. Wilson, you just indicated your
Yes.
client is open to a written closing, but I know Mr. Burton hasn't had the opportunity
Yeah,
to examine.
I agree
the
to
plaintiff.
do a written closing, and I think that we should do that. And the reason that Ms. Wilson, I think she didn't repeat it on the record, but she said she was willing to do a 30-page closing because we had discussed maybe doing something less, but then
Oh,
with finishing the trial though.
okay.
Right. So I would, my client and my preference would be to take, we talked, we have, she says maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes left. I'm gonna say an hour for me, so a very small setting and then closing brief. And I proposed a 10-page limit, but I'm open to if you want more.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I forgot what we said in terms of pages, if
Okay.
we even got that far. So I'd also be happy to split the baby. We'll do a 20 page.
15, 20, yeah, 20.
Whatever pleases the court.
Okay.
How much paper do you want to read, Judge?
Well,
So there you have it.
obviously there are volumes of papers that I'm going to need to read as well. I don't have, so let's use the 22nd at 9.
Okay.
And that'll be the conclusion of the oral examination. And I don't have a problem if there's some additional time spent, as long as Mr. Burton needs his time to cross-examine. If you wanted to piece certain things together to reduce the size of written closings.
Yeah.
And we can have further discussions at that time about the
I
written closings.
do want to put on the record, I am on a plane on the 21st of December. So
Okay, if
as
there are
long
any issues.
so
Right.
as long as I have no travel issues,
And you
Okay.
just send somebody else from your office.
there's nobody else from my office that can do this case.
All right, understood. So we'll at least reserve this case, or reserve that spot for this case on the December 22nd.
Okay, and then with the expectations, I guess that we'll do written closings, and then I guess we'll confirm at that time, based on the evidence we do that day, the expectation that we would just finish up the oral and then just try to
Have
move
written
into the
closing.
written closing.
Written closing.
Just because it does affect the presentation, like you were going to do more questioning, if not that, right?
Right.
Okay.
So it's possible if we do a little bit more examination, we can reduce the amount of,
And then we make the same
Of
mistake
written
again, though, when we
closings.
run out of time at
No,
noon.
so, yeah. No, I'm confident we're gonna finish it that
I
way. So listen, I appreciate you being here this morning, and I know this has been a long, lengthy process. And I noted when I began today that I had a birthday last week.
Yeah.
I turned 6 years old. And I would just, as we approach the Thanksgiving day and the Thanksgiving holiday, I've gotten to know more about the two of you throughout this process, the evidentiary hearing as well as prior hearings and the papers that I've read. And I've gotten to know more about, but they are still, because I've never met them, they're strangers to me. And that's always the shortfall of this process in the court. You know your children better than I ever will. And I say that to parents all the time. Placing these decisions in the hands of an elected judicial officer who is a stranger to these children. And I read about them all the time. And like I said, I feel like I've gotten to know them better, but I never will know them like the two parents that created them. And I would just hope during this period of Thanksgiving, you take a moment to find gratitude for the fact that you are the parents to two beautiful, excelling children. And gratitude for the role that you each play. I know that's challenging. And the other aspect that I've learned over the years of being involved, not only as an attorney in this arena, but also as a judicial officer, is that these proceedings never bring parents closer together. You always walk out of those courtroom doors further apart because this becomes an emotionally taxing environment. And my statutory mandate is to build relationships between parents and children. I'm required to do that. So while I'm trying to build, I'm hearing everything negative possible about the two of you and your parenting. But what I've heard hasn't dissuaded me from knowing that the two of you fundamentally are good-hearted parents who deeply love the two children you created together. And there's some level of gratitude that should exist for that very fact that you have these two precious children that you've created. They're still very young, and you have years to go to co-parent. And I would hope that you would just take a moment to recognize and have that gratitude for the role that you both play in their lives. We'll come back on December 22nd, right before another holiday. But I wish you the best for Thanksgiving. Safe travels if you're traveling at all, and enjoy the time that you have with family during this period of time. But I'm grateful for you being here and grateful for council's participation in this endeavor. I know it's been a long process. We're almost there. Not quite. So I'll see you back here on December 22nd, travel willing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.